Alina, Habba, eviscerates Fani Willis and Alvin Bragg in this one. Welcome to the Doug to Naples channel. There's just victory after victory for Trump. The Democrat schemes and scams are just falling apart right and left. Christopher Wray steps down. Kash Patel's going in.
Alvin Bragg has literally ignored the needs of New Yorkers. He is soft on crime for people that are actually committing crime, and he is then persecuting and prosecuting people like Penny and Donald Trump, who are here to help America.
Two white guys. That's why he's after them, especially Daniel Penny, who's some kind of a hero. The more heroic you are, the more Alvin Bragg is going to persecute you. And then on all these felonies, even violent felons, he lets them go.
Alvin Bragg is so self-interested, and his team, that he is failing the American people. And what America needs right now is unity. This case should have been dismissed. It never should have been brought in the first place. It was past statute of limitations. Nothing ever happened. The president did nothing wrong. And the evidence that was presented was clearly outside of the perimeters of anything that should have been considered, as he was president of the United States, not even at the Trump Organization during the time period they were questioning.
It's just a witch hunt for Trump. It was purely political. It makes our justice system look terrible. It makes New York look terrible. What an embarrassment.
Immunity decisions have come down, have made clear that he has immunity, but DA Bragg, unlike Jack Smith, just won't quit.
Even Jack Smith looks reasonable compared to Alvin Bragg and Fani Willis, because they're in the amateur league. Jack Smith is up there in Washington, D.C. going, the jig is up. I'm stepping down. Christopher Wray, the jig is up. I'm stepping down. Alvin Bragg and Fani Willis going, we can still do this.
Bragg just came off a pretty bruising loss with Daniel Penny. I mean, in that case, again, that never should have been brought. You had someone who was a Marine vet on the subway, a hero to the people inside that car.
New Yorkers freely elected that guy. New York, you can tell me in the chat below, what's wrong with you people? How does this work?
Where is your dignity? And this goes for Fani as well.
Fani Willis just confessed to having records of her communications with the January 6th Pelosi operation, the Get Trump operation. She only confessed to this yesterday, thanks to a Judicial Watch lawsuit.
So she denied one set of emails saying that she doesn't know what we're talking about. We did a video on this yesterday. And then now she comes up and goes, wait, I do have emails with the January 6th committee, the Pelosi, Get Trump. Now, once emails start getting coughed up, that's when the chain, it starts to reveal who they were talking to, and you can bring in other witnesses and sweat these people out.
Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis, in the same sentence as Alvin Bragg. I can see how you get there. They're both so much in a drought for any sort of way to go after Trump. Well, this is the latest. Willis has refused a judge's order now to hand over any communications that were with special counsel Jack Smith and the House January 6th committee. Willis is prosecuting President-elect Trump's 2020 election interference case in Georgia. Now, she denies ever talking to Jack Smith about the case and says there are no records to hand over.
Of course, when we first sued and began asking for these records, they told us they had no records.
So on the January 6th one, she admitted to having records. That Harris Faulkner one was a little bit old, so we're still getting them caught up. I believe she also has records with the White House because they have Nathan Wade visiting the White House. So they'll probably go after him.
Willis also claimed there are legal exemptions to justify withholding communications with the January 6th committee. A new piece argues this. Willis's refusal to hand over records suggests she is willing to clash with her critics on yet another front, even as she faces the possibility of disqualification from her own case.
This really does confirm, A, she was in collusion with the Pelosi operation to get Trump. B, she has no respect for the rule of law. C, she has no respect for your right to know.
So she's going to hide behind I have special privileges with that J6 investigation. It was so terrifying when the insurrection tried to happen, which is, of course, false. She's going to hide behind it. She can't hide behind it for long with these investigations. Wait till Trump gets into power and wait till his investigations start.
This entire case is leaking like a sieve, and it always has, because it was based on, in my view, a ridiculous RICO theory to get to the president. On top of that, you have Willis's own conduct and whether she should be removed from the case. So it's a big debate as to what will bring this case down. I just can't see, even if she was able to secure a conviction, that she would be able to sustain it on appeal.
That's Turley, and he's saying that the case is starting to leak like a sieve. Now, once there's weakness shown.
The truth is this, we know there was. We've seen White House records that show that a lot of these DAs and AGs were visiting the White House and coordinating with not only outside sources like Jack Smith, but also the White House administration. Unacceptable. That's political motivation. That's selective prosecution. Those are things that are unconstitutional. We do not do them in this country.
We don't do them in this country anymore. The Democrats did them all the time. They sent all their DAs up to the White House. They were going back and forth, special prosecutors, all coordinating this whole thing, which is a conspiracy.
My message is the same for Fani. Do the right thing. You've embarrassed yourself enough. This case was a joke. It's a hoax. And we really need the American people to have what little faith they have restored in our justice system.
Now, you can tell me in the chat below, does Fani Willis do the right thing? Does Alvin Bragg do the right thing? I'm Doug in Exile.